Next tonight, a busy train line between Exeter and Crewkerne will be closed all week while work is carried out to install flood defences.
Well, while the work will cause disruption for commuters, it is hoped that the £9.5 million project will reduce the likelihood of flooding to just once every 20 years. Nick Smith has this report.
Rail disruption can be a huge headache for commuters. And for the rest of this week, South Western Trains' route to Waterloo will not be in service on the stretch between Exeter and Crewkerne, due to work to protect the line from flooding on the River Axe. It's part of a £9 million flood defence scheme aimed at installing culverts beneath the track to direct water when the river overflows. The aim of this work behind me is to keep this line open and try and alleviate risks of flooding. Now, the crossing here is barely metres from the River Axe, and flooding can occur here on average once every 5 years, but the aim of this project is to reduce that to 1 in 20. And whilst there is disruption in the short term, this work is aimed at reducing future closures.
This work's necessary because of the level of flood risk to the railway. Before we constructed this, we were unable to offer a reliable level of service in the winter due to the flood risk. This will significantly improve that situation, so people will be able to plan their journeys and trust us to provide a rail service for them.
These huge concrete culverts are designed to support the track, but also provide a channel for floodwater so it flows under rather than over the railway line, to avoid a repeat of damage seen in recent years.
The last significant flooding here was in 2012, both in the summer and in the winter. Water came over the top of the railway line and washed the track away, and on both occasions it took us several days to reopen the line. In subsequent winters, in order to manage safety, because of the risk of that happening again, we have had to close the line on several occasions per year.
Similar work to divert floodwater also took place on Cowley Bridge near Exeter earlier this year, in an effort to protect the line that runs close to a floodplain on the River Exe. This work near Axminster is part of a planned schedule which will affect several services on the line between now and November, seeing trains affected at Fennerton and Temple Combe, along with planned closures at Honiton, Yeovil Junction and Salisbury. But the main message to passengers is to be patient, and that it will all be worth it in the long run. Nick Smith, ITV News, Axminster.